Today's video, I thought we would have some fun and check out the Kidrobot horror and sci-fi series, Madballs. So this is what they look like when you get them, well, when you pick them up. They come in these little fish net sort of encasings, and each of them have their own corresponding tag. At the top, or flip it around there, we got Madballs horror and sci-fi series, collect them all. And then we've got the character featured of that respected Madball. So here we have Jason Voorhees. There's Jason up at the top there. Friday the 13th, Jason. Flip it around, Jason. Here we've got BigShotToyWorks.com as well as Kidrobot's website, www.kidrobot.com. As you could probably guess, they are fairly easy to get out of there. You just simply take a knife, really, and just cut the fish net to reveal the Madball underneath. We're not going to go through each one of these of opening these up, but I just want to show you the tags. There is the face hugger. There's the back of it. Here we have Leatherface. And the back of it. Freddy Krueger, one of my personal favorites. And there's the back. The Xenomorph. And lastly, if I can actually reach it, there we go. Lastly, Predator. And there's the back. Here they are, all out of their packaging. And just in case you're wondering, by the way, how big these Madballs are, they're all roughly about 4 inches. The set consists of 6 Madballs. And half of them are sci-fi, the other half are horror, and we'll kind of go through each one of these and show you guys the details. So why don't we start with, I'm going to start with my personal favorite, and that would be Jason Voorhees. Now, excessive would probably be the best word to describe these Madballs, as they've taken the core element of the characters themselves and have elevated them to an excessively gruesome status. So Leatherface. So Jason here, for example, you have the hockey mask, but in this case you've actually got both eyes now visible. One of the cracks, or a main crack at the bottom of his hockey mask, reveals his very mangled, fugly looking pair of teeth. Really nice detailing on them. They've got Jason here, for example, has a really discolored, gross sort of blue skin. Really, from the back, it comes across almost a little bit like the surface of the moon, or some moon from a distant planet. He's got the worms coming out of his, what looks to be his eye. One's going into his ear, and then he's got just a series of worms kind of crawling in and out of his head. Ooh, some pus. That's not good for anybody. This Jason also has hair, which is interesting enough. All of these, by the way, are kind of a softer rubber. Paint on these actually is quite good. It's about on par with what you would expect if you've picked up any of the original Madballs or some of the Madball re-releases that Kidrobot has done. So Jason is my personal favorite. I suppose I kind of could go through my favorite to least favorite, but I don't really want to do a least favorite. I think they're all kind of cool in their own little way. But Jason definitely is my favorite of the bunch. A little bit of a brain kind of showing on the top there. Very, very damaged Jason. Very cool. Love it, though. Of course, one can't also overlook Freddy Krueger. I just love the design of this guy. He's got just a little bit of a hint of a sweater and his glove. I like that they were able to incorporate that as well as instead of just having his face. His face and his teeth discolored. He's got a little bit of goo kind of oozing out of the side of his cheek. Heavily scarred. In this case, he's got his brain showing on the one side, and it looks like he's got a little bit of a pussy ear happening there as well. I love how the glove fans across his face, even sticking itself through the fedora out to the top there. My guess is probably sticking all the way into his brain. Really neat looking design though on Freddy. He's my second favorite. I know. It probably seems like an obvious no-brainer if you are not new to this channel. Moving along, let's continue with the horror end of it. Here we have Leatherface. Like Freddy, like Jason, he also has yellow teeth. This one's neat because he's got like the black eye, and then he's got the little iris inside of that. But it's neat that he's got the black eye going there. On the one side, he's got the human eye, and of course, much like his name would say, I mean, he's got a face made out of leather. Not my leather, thank goodness, but some poor victim's face. He's crafted into a mask. The stitches are neat because they're blue as opposed to just making them black, because there's really a lot of dark colors on this guy. Making the stitching a very vibrant blue, I think, was the smart way to go. Underneath there, you've got Kidrobot. He's got his hammer, although probably not in a place where he would have liked it, bedded inside of his head with some goo coming out from there as well. A lot of these all have this neon green goo. I love it. So there's Leatherface. There's your 3 horror Madballs. Now we kind of move into the sci-fi end of it. So here we have the Facehugger. And not just a facehugger, but a facehugger wrapped around some poor guy's face. On the top there you have the USCSS Nostromo 180286. The facehugger, one would say, is squeezing his face so badly. Not only does he have veins running through his eyes, but one eye has popped right out of the socket. Green goo, yeah, he's got it here as well. In this case, could look like it's coming out from the facehugger. Facehugger's tail wraps around the bottom area of the gentleman's head. Hair sculpt on the back there. Really like the look of this one too. And once again, these are very, very soft, sort of almost like a pillowy sort of foam. Then we have the Predator. I'm glad that they went with the route of not giving us the helmeted Predator, because that would be a little harder to resonate the Madball end of it, because you got to make them a little more gruesome, a little more disfigured. It's better to do it with the unmasked Predator. Here on the back, though, he's got a skull, which is kind of neat. Got some brown on the underneath there, and I like that he's got one large eye, kind of one squinty eye. Now he doesn't seem to have as much of that kind of greenish slime, although he gets a little bit around the mouth area. He's got a little bit of blood on the top there and some nice spots on the sides. I might say that this one's one of my least favorites, but I mean that's not saying a whole lot because they're all really good. And then we've got the Facehugger, which I think suffers a little bit the more of the design elements, because you're trying to take a Facehugger that naturally is a longer character, longer head at least, and you're trying to mash it into somewhat of a circular sphere. So it doesn't look as much like a Facehugger, but you still get the indicators. For example, like the smaller jaw. I like how the smaller jaw, the little mouth inside, has a tongue. I think that's a nice effect. This one doesn't have as much coloring to it because it relies more on the grays, kind of like a bluer gray and some lighter grays on the sides. Got some Xenomorph Blood, what looks to be Xenomorph Blood. I don't know if those are actually bullet holes, these little dots right here. A couple of gashes also in there as well. Not one of the better ones, but I think it's still really neat looking. Underneath there's Kidrobot. Now these were available, I think, at Best Buy for a while. Kidrobot's website didn't actually stock these, I think, until January. If you didn't get a chance to pick these up in stores, I know I didn't. I ultimately just waited until Kidrobot had them available. But they should be now available on their website. And I'll put the link down below. So if you guys are interested in picking these up for yourself, if, say, for example, you were a big fan of Madballs growing up, then kind of getting back into it, Kidrobot's done a whole bunch of stuff with the Madballs property. Re-releasing some of the original ones, re-releasing them in plastic form, in blind box form, and then I guess it was just a matter of time before they expanded the property to give us something a little bit different, and that's one thing I really like about this. It is very, very much different. Still getting the idea of Madballs, but incorporating horror and sci-fi characters seems to me like a win-win. If you guys are interested in picking these up for yourself, I'll put the link down below to Kidrobot's website. Today, we were having a look at the Kidrobot Horror and Sci-Fi Madballs. We're looking at actually the entire set. My personal favorite is Jason. My second favorite is Freddy. But let me know down below, of the 6 released, what is your favorite Madball? More videos certainly to come, guys. Of course, if you also wanted to go back and check out some of the Madballs reviews, because I pretty much have covered all of them from Kidrobot. There's a playlist on this channel. Just look up Kidrobot Madballs, and you should be able to see all the stuff that I've done. I've done unboxings and the various releases of the Madballs. They're all there for you guys. As always, guys, more videos, of course, coming your way as well. It's got lots of stuff we're going to be checking out on this channel. I don't know why I'm waving that. But let me know also, guys, down below what your favorite Madball is from this series of 6 figures. 6 Madballs. More videos to come, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.